Did you see that? This was like a year or two ago now, but it was like showing like Afghanistan like troops with new trucks or something, like the Taliban or maybe it was Al Qaeda. I don't remember. ISIS. It was ISIS actually, and it was showing like new trucks that ISIS somehow procured, and one of them said like Steve Mason's #1 tile repair company, and it had like a Michigan phone number, and it was like a viral tweet where this guy's like, I don't know how, but we turned in our truck and now it's delivering ISIS members across the Middle East. Rest assured, Steve Mason's painting company does not stand alongside ISIS. I don't know why they wouldn't remove the decal, frankly. But it was an old Toyota with a Michigan number on it. Oh, yeah, something got Mark 1 plumbing.
and I loved it. They've got the fucking technical on the back, fucking laying it down.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's so funny.
What is a technical? Is that a category?
That's a gun? Yeah. It's whenever they put a piece of shit like this on the back of a pickup truck and it looks like the guy who operates it's not going to live very long. It's that. I don't know what kind of gun that is. It looks
it falls under the classification of technical, like many guns would.
That whole thing we're looking at is a technical in my.
Oh, does that include the truck?
Yeah. This is a fighting vehicle now. This is transcended. They're cool enough to blur the gunner's face. I think that's like a 20 millimeter gun or something, or maybe like the Russian equivalent. That's a big. It's a cannon.
Yeah. You don't want to get hit with it.
That'd be really cool to shoot.
Have you shot something very close to that?
Yeah, I shot a bolt-action rifle that shoots 20 millimeter rounds. I think 50 caliber is like 13.7 millimeter. So like that's your comparison from 50 caliber up to 20 millimeter.
What is that, anti-tank gun? Like, what do you use? A PTRS? What do you use it for?
It's the round that like fighter jets shoot. We just report on Wings when he does stuff, as does the New York Times. Okay, so.
Did you see that? I saw that, and I saw Wings talk about how he didn't like the New York Times take on him. And so here's the deal. I guess now Wings has been used as like they're using his picture and saying he's involved in all these current events. The Uvalde shooting was one of them. I think the Buffalo shooting was another. And they keep saying Wings was either involved or like a parent or a victim. Or whatever. Yeah. And of course, Wings has nothing to do with it. These are just trolls who drag his image into everything. And there was a brief moment where they tried to find the genesis of why Wings was targeted like this. And they're like, he said some things about lowering the age of consent and something else that I don't recall. But he's apologized for that again and again. He never meant it. He just was a shock jock on a podcast at one point. I saw that and I thought, they didn't do him wrong. He said a dumb thing. He apologized for it. It was a comedy thing. Move on. And 12 years ago, by the way. But Wings felt like they really did him dirty. I didn't see it like that.
Yeah, they did him really kindly. I think that look, it seems like he was the source of all their information. Think about that one for a minute. It's not like they went to his haters, or they'd have had a much more comprehensive viewpoint of like those things he said, because those guys, the guys who are like super into this, have debunked the like I was a shock jock thing, because they'll be like, here's where he said it when almost no one was listening. Here's when he like said it in private. Here's when he said the same thing to like a little group of people and not on the show. Whether it's Twitch or in a YouTube video or whatever, they'll do that. So like if the New York Times had gone to them, they'd have gotten us. It'd have been a really nasty article. They did him really kindly, and he doesn't know how to use.
I mean, I don't think he realizes the same kind of point I made on PKN. Patreon.com/PKA. Sign up for PKN. You get the early show, and you also get PKN, which is an hour-long show. And you get three of us retards do. And so check it out.
Don't forget about the Hangout. That's the best part.
And the Hangout. The Hangout's the $50 level. You get to join and watch all of us do bits and the rest of the folks who go in there. It's a bunch of fun.
The rest of the folks are the best part.
The rest of the folks are honestly the best part. It's very, very funny. The whole point with the Wings thing is this Wings is merely the vehicle by which the story was told. They wanted to do a story on fake news on social media, and Wings is just the vehicle. So there's not a huge focus on him in that. There's really not. Like, it'll ask what it is, and he'll say stuff like, yeah, that's not true, I didn't say that, or they manufactured that, or I said a different version of it. But the bulk of the article, if you actually read it, is about the misattribution of sources and stuff.
Is this the one where people claim that...
But only in the context of how it pertains to him. I don't think they go...
No, in the context of how it pertains to the BBC, the CNN, like...
But how he's used to like...
yes, but he is still the medium that is being used. It's less about him than his kind of avatar as a force doing this. Okay,
I read this as hey, have you guys heard about the most interesting man on the internet? There is a buffoon in South Carolina. Yes, we've got a photo of him right here, and we talked to him today. And here's the nonsense that he gets up to. That's what it was to me. Because they talk about how, like, all the accounts that, like, call him out on Twitter, the like fake CNN accounts, CNN and Afghan and all that. Like they never said, also, there's this other guy this happens to, or these other examples of it happening, and it was all Wings. It was all about medium. It was all about how it affected him. It
centers on him, story. But the key of the story are the ancillary bits, kind of sprouting off of him.
I disagree. It was to me, it was a biography of Wings of Redemption and how he, in particular, has real serious issues with the internet trolling him. That's 100% what it was about to me. They did stop and do a little bit of that. They mentioned that, factually, that people will see that he's a survivor and such and such, and they'll be like, aha, a crisis actor. They wanted you to know that, like, hey, this guy's not a crisis actor. He's not a monster. He's not a fraudster. He's just a guy who plays video games on the internet, and
but
people
that was covered in the intro. That was covered in the intro, and then
Kyle, I felt like the article was about Wings. It wasn't about misattribution of sources. They covered that a little bit, but
no, I think maybe I'll reread and see it differently. But it seemed more to me that it was a story they wanted to tell, and Wings was a very convenient mechanism by which to tell it. And I fucking hate mainstream media and journalists. So if there was more to hate on here, in my eyes, I would do that. But I don't think there is.
It's a pretty short read. I have not read it. I just scrolled through it and reading the top lines of the first paragraphs. It does read. It's like a story about. It's a story about how Wings is being misidentified, but it's definitely towards more about Wings the person and not about misinformation as a source or as as a topic. I just think that he's got it.
I probably have the wrong read on it then.
In any case, we'll all agree that Wings who's over there like banning anyone who says NYT, banning anyone who says anything about the interview, is just like, what are you doing?
Missing an opportunity, right? It should be Wings of Redemption now streaming as seen in the New York Times, right? That's what it should be, doing, a 24-hour marathon stream right now where it gets up to 16,000 people and gets hopefully $50,000. And that's where he should be right now. I wish he was. We always have different objectives, right? I know being on Twitch is selling your mental health for cash. I've said it 100 times. Wings is like, no, I don't want to sell my mental health. There's only so much. I'm like, rebuild it later, Wings. This is an opportunity. Strike while the iron is hot. And he never does what I would have hoped he'd do.
I'm disappointed in him in that I went to Myrtle Beach. I saw how nice of an area. I have a lot of jealousy towards people who just were born near the ocean and just get to live near the ocean. It's cool.
All that crab. You just go out there and get it.
I would be 100% lying if I didn't say crab was a maybe majority part in this thought. But I'm jealous of that. And so when I went to Myrtle Beach recently, I had a full, for Jericho's benefit, my wife and we had a full, she wanted to go to Universal and all that stuff. And that's not my jam as much. I've never been, but I didn't think it would be. But I've always told her, we'll go do that. So we made that vacation, but unfortunately weather was so bad there. It was 7 out of 7 days would be thunderstorms. And so I just found last second before our vacation, what is the nicest weather of the beach we can drive to? And it was Myrtle Beach. That's got the most sun. Fuck it. We're going there. And as I was driving closer and closer to Myrtle Beach, I just kept thinking, like, where the fuck is Conway? I'm kind of excited. I'm not going to go to Wing's house or even try and find it. I just want to see where Conway is, like, in relation to Myrtle Beach. And it got to the point that I was like 5, 6, 7 miles from the beach. Yeah. And I was like, I must have missed it. Like, there's no way. I must have missed Conway. Maybe it's like down the beach a bit. No, it's there. Right fucking there. Yeah. On the beach. Wait, and I guarantee
not on the beach, is it?
It's not on the beach, but it's
20 minutes.
20 minutes would be if he fucking took a razor scooter there. Like, he could be there fast if he takes a car. Like, and that's how close you are to the beach. And so part of me was like, dude, I get it. You don't want to take your shirt off or anything. Like, I totally understand. But yeah, 10 miles.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Just go to the beach. That would be so. Living 10 miles from the beach, in my head, that is so exciting and so cool. I would be getting seafood every day. Like, if I'm bored, what do? Oh, I don't know. I don't live in Missouri anymore, where it's just forests. I'll go to the beach.
I can't believe we never thought of this during all the weight loss bullshit shows where we'd sit here and pump him up and come up with a little idea. Oh, maybe boxing. Maybe you get a personal
walk on
trainer.
The beach.
Yeah, walk on the beach. Go swimming.
Or he could do like aqua aerobics or something.
Not even just walk on the beach is like 80% more difficult than just walking.
It's so true. It's the stand.
Yeah. I'm like, diet. You can't walk. That whole walking thing, the me of today, is like, that doesn't lose weight.
It's mental stuff, though. No, that's mental stuff, though.
Yes. Oh, I'm with you. I was actually going to say the same thing. I sometimes walk. If I'm like, my mental health needs a boost right now, let's get walking. Skateboarding, same sort of thing. And walking's actually bad. I didn't know it. It's like a thing I learned way too late in life. But walking is huge.
Love it.
And so I don't hate walking, but if you're trying to lose weight, it's the kitchen. He would walk and come back and have a sweet tea.
Well, it's all calorie deficit stuff. But I was just saying, like, walking on a beach, pretty, not a lot of incentive needed, and it's exponentially more difficult than walking on flat ground normally.
But we all know what we would do if we woke up and we were 425 pounds. Yeah. And it wouldn't involve some little 20-minute walks, okay? It would involve a new lifestyle. It would involve a Spartan lifestyle where you were like, I guess, I can walk 9 hours a day if I get that desk that's I can get the walking desk and then I'll do my
standing desk, or at least
like a treadmill desk or something.
I have a standing desk and I haven't lifted it more than twice.
I do the same thing. I wouldn't change. I would try to eat right and I'd lift weights. Is lifting weights the best way to lose weight? I don't know, but it's the one I'll actually do.
Yeah. From experience,
it's the one. I mean, working out as a whole is super hard for me when I know that there's exercises that I'm not interested in doing because they're not fun. Like, I have the fun ones, right? Love leg presses. Love doing everything with leg press. But like, as soon as you get to like doing planking or any like weird range of motion exercises, I hate it. I don't want to do it, and I need a personal trainer to help me with that.
You don't like? Why would you do that? You don't like upper body stuff at all?
Planking for nobody.
I've grown to like upper body stuff, but like I don't like rowing. I hate rowing.
Then don't row. And I don't think Kyle gets enough credit pre-2016 to calling the Trump thing. Like, I think between the three of us, Kyle, like, I was like, there's zero chance he wins. Woody was like, there's very little chance. I think Kyle was the one who was like, I think he's got it. Maybe that's
what I lost money on was the Biden Bernie thing. Like, I got every other person.
You guys,
got Biden and
I'm just saying, Kyle called the Trump thing pretty good.
Did he?
I might have. I don't remember exactly.
I thought you did.
I will say this. The week of, like, election day, I think that I called that Trump was going to win long before it was even close. But on like the week of, like when it was time to go, I had no confidence. It was gone.
This is my favorite part of election night because this killed me and I fell for it. Chiz and I are rooting for Hillary, right? I know it sounds stupid now, but we were rooting for Hillary at the time. Kyle and Taylor were rooting for Trump, and Chiz, we're following it together, and Chiz is saying Trump has won. He's virtually run. Hillary has to win every state, and Taylor is feigning confusion. I don't get it. I still think Trump's going to lose, and he made Chiz explain how his person was unwinnable, how it was hopeless already, like 6 times.
I made him explain it so many times because then it'd be like, and now North Carolina goes Trump, and I'd be like, I still don't see it, Chiz. And then he would spell it out in a huge text, and I would just respond, IDK. Like that was such a fun night. I had so much fun that night.
He'll write 6 paragraphs in his reply. Like, and I'm not even exaggerating. 4-6 paragraphs is commonplace when he's like going on it. And Taylor had him going so strong. And I'm stupid.
Dude, he's hitting me with 6-paragraph responses for just lols. Like, I just go lol.
It was such an insane night. I can remember.
Yeah.
Again, it was going to be a bad day for me. Like I knew that Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president, and I was upset about it. You know, as someone who was making their living like with a gun channel and like building guns and shooting guns, it was like, oh fuck, Hitler got elected today. This is bad.
Yeah,
she's like she's the worst for this. She's the worst.
I thought Biden was worse, but I'm still listening.
We did not
clearly look at all he's done.
We did not like her or the prospect of her. It was like,
oh
shit.
Yeah, she was sort of held up there as the Antichrist.
We did not like the prospect of her for a number of reasons, but that was a big one for me. I was upset, and then I slept through like the deciding like minutes when it was like, wait a minute, maybe something is happening. Nah, like when there was still confusion. I slept through that. I woke up and they were like, we might have something here, boys. Like it was already in full, like, wait a minute, they were doing all that math. And it was like, well, Hillary just needs to win like every fucking county in 8 states that remain and she'll be fine, right? And I was like, looking at my girlfriend, I was like, they were worried. Look at these. Wolf Blitzer looked worried. I was like,
it was so great.
I was like, he's won. I think he's won. They look so scared. All right, she probably still pulls it out, but they're going to be scared all night. This is fun. And it became more and more clear that no, they're scared because they know that it's a long shot. And then you got to see the Hillary supporters crying. Tears. And like, say what you want about how cringe it is.
Fucking losers. Imagine crying over a presidential choice.
Maybe it's cringe now to talk about liberal tears, but I'm going to tell you, that night in 2016, liberal tears were so delicious. You could taste them through your TV screens because these weren't your average liberals. These weren't people who were like, I don't know. I just think that maybe healthcare shouldn't, cost $1 million if you break if you have a heart transplant or whatever. Sure. Common sense liberal things. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the people who were waiting in line in front row at the Hillary announcement, like hand-picked cattle out there and watching them cry. Oh, it was tasty, my friend.
That was
a red day.
I still like that is going to be a memory that I keep forever. I still remember sitting there on the couch. Having
until Alzheimer's takes it from you.
Until Alzheimer's comes in. And
all those Diet Coke sodas.
Your greens.
all those aspartame I've been drinking.
Eat your greens, Taylor.
Watching it and being
keep it away.
I remember being like, oh my God, like this is going to happen. And then texting back in our group chat and being like, I don't know, Chiz, I don't see a path. That was so fucking funny to me. I was having so much fun that night.
I can tell you that the one thing that I realized, that was the first election. I was 24, right? So whenever Obama went through his last term, that was not necessarily a highly contested one. I felt no need to drink underage and, have that fun thing. So for this one, I was like, I can't wait to play a drinking game around election night. So for every state they call, we'll do half a shot in whichever direction they call it. And so we're like, all right, well, we'll do half a shot for every state Trump calls. It's a rookie mistake because they start in the Northeast. There's about 400 states up there. So they call them in waves of 8. True. And they're like, Trump has won the Southwest. So that's like, it's like 13 states. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I guess we're within 6.5 shots. And so I didn't even make it to the Midwest. Like they were over there like dabbling with Chicago.
He didn't make it to the Midwest. As soon as he took South Carolina,
I mean, I literally woke up at 4 a.m.
How are you not guaranteed to do 25 shots in this game? I don't think I understand.
Well, because you pass out.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. You do
half a shot for every state they call, and I'm like, well,
right. So they go, and we're calling New Mexico, like, I don't know. New Mexico's over there. They're calling New Hampshire, Arizona? Vermont, Maine. Like, they all get because they all close at the same time, and they all vote similar ways. It's pretty easy to call Mississippi, and Louisiana and all, and they have like whatever, so they can make a trend choice. And so when they start closing at what? I'm on West Coast at like polls close at 8 p.m. right? So it's 5 p.m. my time.
Time to drink. Yeah.
Time to drink. It's 5 o'clock. Polls close somewhere, maybe. So like by around 9 p.m. I'm shithoused because they've made it through the entire Eastern Seaboard, and that's like half of our states.
You're like still waiting for Illinois to post. Already shithoused. Like,
just like, guys,
I don't even know.
I really think Montana's gonna bring it back for. I don't know. Like,
I think, she only has to win Montana and Idaho to really.
And, Hillary loves potatoes. I've seen her campaign in a Five Guys.
I do remember like the first half of that night watching and being like, "There's no way."
Yeah, it was wild.
Way. He just kept winning. He won Pennsylvania. Oh my God!
He just kept winning.
Trump might be the president.
And like in the previous elections, I remember that like Florida and Ohio were always very contentious, and it took a while to figure them out. And there may be a North Carolina has been more blue for a long time, but I think it's been contentious. No,
we were blue for Obama one time, but we're mostly red.
Okay,
it's pretty purple statewide stuff. Carry on.
I think that was a contentious one, maybe during the Bush years. I kind of think of it that way, but like when as soon as I turned it on, it was like, oh, Trump's already taken like a lot of the stuff that she's like he's not even supposed to be close on. He's supposed to be 8 points behind, and he won by 4. It was stuff like that. He was
it was like watching Genghis Khan conquer a nation in quick time, where it was suddenly realizing like, oh, everything the media has been saying has been from the perspective of New York and LA people. A lot of middle Americans really like saying fuck you to the establishment that be. And that's the way I see the Trump vote in a lot of ways. That's totally. The way that's the reason I voted for him both times, is like as a fuck you of like, you people in not Hollywood, you people in DC, you're such duplicitous fucking monsters. Fuck you. I'm going to put the Apprentice guy in if I can. Go eat my ass. Fuck you. All you talk about is how we need more rights for individuals in the American public. And then healthcare doesn't come. Nothing comes. All it ends up is you guys clasping hands in the end with the Republicans so you can fund more wars. And a lot of people voted for him for that reason. I know I did. As a like, go fuck yourself. Like, we are tired of you.
I think he's the first president in our lifetimes, any of us, who didn't start a war.
Literally the first president in 60 years that did not start a new conflict.
I sent you guys a picture today of my blood work that I was getting. It was like 20 different things they're testing.
My fucking condolences on the HIV. I'm so sorry.
Oh, God. I thought it would
COVID
hurt.
Negative, though.
COVID negative, HIV positive.
Silver lining.
Someone's going to the movies.
Well, good news, bad news.
Don't have COVID.
Yeah, just getting my like a regular blood work for the Derek's clinic, the TRT stuff and everything, making sure everything's kicking along very nicely. And this time I think that they've like updated like the way they do things. They may even have a new doc in there, but it's much more comprehensive, the blood work that I got done today. So it was a lot more vials of blood being drawn.
How many vials?
Like 6.
Yeah.
Like in each one of them.
I think that big. Yeah.
Like dime. They're like a nickel and like
it's
5
a good
inches
amount.
long.
Like a shot glass amount of blood.
It feels like a lot more than that.
No, it's more than that. I don't know how many milliliters in it because I got 7 taken because I went in there and like, we need you to do these basic ones. I'm like, you know what? It's been a while since I've just like had somebody tell. It's kind of like a cheat code, like they're just like, what are you predisposed to? So they did 7, and I was really lightheaded. It felt like I donated.
To impatience?
Oh,
yeah, they're like, hey.
So I told you have to fast before you do this thing, which is nonsense. And like without going into
fasting, like what is this? The year 2? No, we're not doing that.
I do a 24-hour fast.
I need food every 90 minutes, or I get cranky.
I I do a good bit of fasting, but like fasting and blood work just seemed like a terrible idea. But I was like, all right, I'll fast for 12 hours. But then like my morning got away from me, and through things that were out of my control, I had to put the blood work off to like this afternoon. So now I've been like 20 fucking hours without food. And as soon as I sit down, I'm already like shaky, like from like being hungry sugar. And like low energy. Blood. And I'm telling him, I'm like, it's like a 50-50 chance I go down, Doc. I'm like, he's like, nah, I'm good at this. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you like beam the blood out of me like onto the fucking Starship Enterprise. Like I haven't eaten in 20 hours. I don't like intravenous stuff. I'm going down like 50-50. And sure enough, like he gets to like the last vial, and he's like, "You still with me?" And I'm like, 70-30. I'm going down. 70-30.
We're losing the battle.
He goes, "We're real close," and I can hear the blood shooting into the vial. That my heart's pounding at this point, by the way. And like I can hear it like squirting into the vial. I'm not looking at it. That'll fuck me up. I can't look at it. And he finally gets them all done, puts the thing on there, and my hands are numb. My hands are numb, and my torso, like from my belly button to the center of my chest, is growing numb and tight, like it's a fucking heart attack coming on. And I'm like, I know I'm fine. I'm always there where I'm like, I'm master of my own domain here. Okay,
mind over matter.
I may go down, but I'll go down saying, I'm going down. Like I'll never.
I'm going down.
I won't bitch out.
You're like the fucking captain on the Titanic.
Yes, I'm the fucking
with honor.
Well, here we go.
I'm playing us out. All right. So like he gets me some. I'm like, I'm gonna need some water and a wet washcloth. And he's like, yeah. He's like, and I'm drinking this stuff, and he's trying to talk to me to like keep my mind off of it. And I'm like, it's not in my head, Doc. I'm like, we're on a countdown here. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. And I'm like, if I vomit, it's going in the trash can. And if you see me shift to the floor, that means I'm going unconscious. But don't worry. Just don't let my head hit the floor, and don't call an ambulance.
If you see me shift to the floor, a.k.a. collapse.
I'm telling him all this stuff. I'm like, don't let my head hit the floor, and do not call an ambulance, because I'll wake right up in like a minute. I was like, don't do that. We're going to be good here. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not worried at all. And I'm like, I hope you're as cool as you're pretending like you are.
You come to and your dick's in his mouth.
You said, wait, Taylor's in his mouth? Yeah. Oh, Taylor, you sweet summer child.
I think I'm the one getting mouth fucked here. 100%. But somehow, like, eventually I pulled it together and I didn't go unconscious. But I was like so close to fucking passing out. I passed out the last time I gave blood.
Good for you, man. Is that the first time in a while you've given blood without succumbing?
Well, this is a little different. This is the first time I've ever had this much of an issue with just the regular blood draw, and I know it's because I'd gone so long without eating, and like I was like stressing myself out about it going in. I'm like, you've been 20 hours without having any food, and they're about to pull so much goddamn blood out of you, and it's so dark when they pull it out. It's like black. If I ever look,
dark cherry.
Yeah, it's very dark
because it's not getting hit with all that oxygen, so it's just
that has to do with your iron count, maybe.
Oh,
platelet. I've heard that term.
My hematocrit or some shit. Like who fucking knows? Ooh, who fucking knows? We talk like I wish I could. I bet I could sell my blood. Like if there were real vampires, they would want some of my blood. It would be like a PED for them.
You think so? You think they'd keep you alive, like chained to a wall?
Yeah,
just siphoning enough of your PEDs.
Well, no, they gotta let me loose so I can pump some iron. I gotta keep like strong for them. I think that's part of what makes my blood.
No,
you're just a vessel for them. At that point, they're like, he's touching the rock. Don't you waste the strength we could have on that rock. We're gonna suck that. You know,
this sounds like a cow being like, I'm so much tastier when I'm free range. It's like, no, you're going in the cage. I'm sorry.
After fucking 30 years, all your veins are collapsed like a heroin addict, so they have to start sucking the energy out of your dick.
I asked
the nipples.
I asked him about that because like I'm pretty lean, and my I don't know, I'm pretty muscular. So like he was like, it doesn't matter which arm. I could hit your vein from a mile away. And I was like, we were talking about that a little bit, and I was like, is it hard to do fat people? And he's like, actually no. You just push all that fat down, and they got those big old fat veins in there.
Really?
I was
That's
giving blood, and I was like
said.
flexing on the woman. I'm like, they always tell me my veins are easy to find. She's like 12 feet away, past my feet, right? And she's like, yeah, you do have good veins. I can see them from here. And it's like, fuck yeah, you can. Yeah, you can see them from across the room.
Yeah, you can.
Like the
take a gander at the main vein. Flow. See that?
And she's like, no, easier access. It's easier access on the big one in your arm.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I owned myself at the blood clinic.
No, but I didn't go down.
You're talking about the fat people veins. All the nurses I know and have spoken to are the complete opposite of what you said, where they're like, if someone like you comes in, they're like, easiest day in the world. Where's the vein? Well, it's a half centimeter raised above the rest of the flesh. There it is. Whereas with fat people, apparently it's like, and when I say fat, I mean like morbidly obese people. It's like, fuck. There's nothing visible in the back of the hands. There's nothing visible here. You just kind of have to hope that you're going to get in the right area.
Maybe I should have said morbidly obese instead of fat because
like if they're very fat.
I'm at a LabCorp, and I think that like 90% of the business they do and the blood draws they do are for people who are like getting a job. I don't know. In my head, I just don't see more. I don't see a lot of morbidly obese people like in the job market.
Like the worst to find veins on. You think about what makes a fat guy, like they've got no muscle tone and big puffy arms. That makes it hard. Babies with Down syndrome. Like that's like the pinnacle, the boss character of finding a vein.
Does Down syndrome make your veins smaller?
It makes you uncooperative.
You don't grow muscle. You don't.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, Down syndrome people don't have the same musculature that typical people have. I don't know what.
Please say humans.
Yeah, they just don't put on muscle very well.
World War I is criminally underdone. It's a cool war, and no one talks about it ever.
I like learning about the gas attacks. I like learning about I don't know that it was cool. It's just like
interesting. It was interesting seeing the pivot from old style war to new style war.
Yeah, there were cavalry charges into machine guns and barbed wire, and it was like, wait, nope. You just wish that someone had been like, oh shit,
dude, that was
this
a huge.
Gonna work.
Yeah, like that was that. That may have even been World War II, or maybe it was World War I. No, it was World War I, like where the Polish responded to the Nazi armament infantry. Yeah, the winged hussar. They respond against the armament that the Nazis had, and they just got absolutely
they weren't Nazis.
The Kaisers. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Crowd-eating Kaisermen.
Well, no one seems to. What was their thing? No one ever talks about how much they disliked the Kaiser. Probably because, you know what? The Kaiser was probably like, people will remember me for 100 years. It's like, try 13, bitch, because another guy's going to show up and he's going to
remember World War I was the one where when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated, there was just, because of all of the treaties and pacts between every country in the world, it was like, oh, you're going to war with them? Well, we're going to war with you. You're going to war with them? Well, we're going to war with you. And it was like, you just wish that there had been telecommunications because you know that someone could be like, whoa, hang on, let's get on Zoom, guys. like, hang on. We can fix this. You
know what? Yeah. You know what war nobody talks about that's a great one? The Chadian Libyan Great Toyota War.
I've never 1987.
Heard of this. I'd love to be educated. It is a war that was fought primarily in the truck bed of Toyota trucks. And what they did, if I remember correctly, was they had littered the area with landmines, but because you could floor the Toyota, you could go over the landmines before they were trigger and detonate. That's how they infiltrated.
You need to put that in a commercial.
Yeah.
The infiltration.
Libya lost 1/10 of its army, 7,500 men, and $1 billion of military equipment. But yeah, the Great Toyota War.
Chad, it's looking like Chad. Well, it looks like France was offering some help to Chad there, so I guarantee French help with Chad. I don't imagine Chad had a big military. I imagine France showed up with some then Libya had to be like, oh no, that's a trained military, and they also have Toyotas. Look at that guy; he's got a new Pathfinder or whatever the fuck it's called. That's a neat.
That's why they named it the Pathfinder.
Camrys, everybody run.
Yeah, everyone's in a war Corolla, like it's Mad Max coming out of the optional sunroof with a spear. That'd be great. Yeah, that's a huge L. Only 1,000 people killed from the France/Chad alliance.
Truly, Libya, Chad.
shit pushed in. And if you want to know someone who knows about getting his shit pushed in, it's Muammar Gaddafi, because of how he
streak
died.
of L's.
Poor Gaddafi.
Or no, was he the guy that was?
He was the guy who got shoved, like torn apart and shit shoved in him, right? And then his head was on a stake.
I think that was it.
Yeah. They sodomized Gaddafi with like a pole or something. Well, the people who didn't like him. No, it was Libya. You remember?
I'm pretty sure. We bombed them. This was a whole thing, and then Gaddafi got overthrown, and they raided him. They sodomized him, and then they like tore him apart and like put his head on a stake.
Gaddafi was another guy who was a previously rational actor until something in the wind changed and he became a madman.
So what?
So
how does this keep happening?
I always lean on that. Like this guy is an ally, like Saddam Hussein. That is a madman.
Well, do you remember what happened? Like he was a madman forever. Like first of all, that whole like posse of ladies he's got watching his back. He's raping all those women.
Muammar Gaddafi. I think he ended slavery in Libya, didn't he?
Massive rapist, just huge rapist. That's probably why they sodomized him. And he was a problem for years, supporting terrorism across the globe. And then 9/11 happened, and someone must have called him or something, because he immediately was like, hey, I'm not with them. I've got some shit y'all need to come look at. I don't know who left it here, but it's scary. Y'all should come take all that. Bombs and missiles. I don't know where. I don't know. He gave up his shit. He immediately showed George Bush's asshole and gave up. And then once he was disarmed and didn't have any bargaining chips, aka chemical or nuclear weapons or anything like that, then we probably bombed him and let some rebels come in and sodomize him. As we
let some rebels come in with new Yukons.
They're driving Chevy.
It was
who sent them?
Who sent them? About this, I'm like, no. Another thing about crab.
Would you do a live stream where you ate crab?
I would want to see that live stream.
Like maybe they pay for the crab and you eat it, no matter what.
That would be fun. They're gonna buy an amount of crab from me that's uneatable, though, and also
you said a cap.
I would be embarrassed to do that in front of people.
You put a bib on.
My crab eating proficiency. Down, I would love to show it off in front of you two. You guys are my friends. If we went to a seafood restaurant, I would order 5 or 6 entrees, and then just for the show, you guys could watch me eat it all. Online, though, I would be so insecure about how much crab juice is a big thing people aren't considering. The amount of spray, the amount of, it's not a single person sport. A lot happens in that arena. And so I would be worried about ruining my keyboard, ruining things like that, trying to eat. Because if I were to do it, I would not do half measures. I would do whole measures. I would eat. I'd probably buy 5 or 6 pounds of crab, and then I would just eat it. I would pick something that I'm very comfortable with. I know I can eat 5-6 pounds of crab, no problem.
No, you need Taylor. We're topping out at 10 pounds of crab.
Okay, that's an extended evening for me. Yeah,
I mean, it'll be a long stream. I'm thinking 3-4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, for me to eat all of it? No, that's a 90-minute stream, man.
Well, we got to wait for the donos to come in.
Wait for the donos to come in. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do a crab picking for a while, like a stream, because it is like a 4-hour, extravaganza.
Dude, I'll fucking fly out.
Yeah,
to your
fly
house
out here and I'll pay you a chunky. It's not going to be an eating contest. It's simply going to be you watch us eat until we both physically feel ill. It's just at our own rate.
It's just Tucker being like, "No, we're not paying for anything, but there's crab here," and I'm like, "I'm on the plane. I'm ready. I'm ready for the game."
Sponsored by Old Bay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, you need Old Bay.
Okay.
Crab.
I have some Old Bay vodka because Old Bay's marketing team has been going pretty crazy. No, apparently it is very good.
No, it's not.
Wait, you have some?
On the way. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was hoping you could try a glass.
No, I would have tried some.
That sounds horrific. Dude.
Well, the way that they're marketing it is like
Bloody Mary?
Yes. Yeah, Bloody Mary. So they have.
I don't like those.
Well, hold on. I got a gift. Yeah. So they did Old Bay goldfish. They've done late or Utz chips for ages. They're really good. Crab chips are incredible. But Lay's did a vodka. They sent me that. It was bad.
What flavor of Lay's?
Lay's, like potato chip vodka, like Lay's
Original?
vodka.
Like
Original.
Oh,
It tasted like sweat vodka. And then Arby's, most recently, you guys probably remember seeing them put out their vodka. No, they had curly fry vodka and regular fry vodka.
Arby's made of vodka? That's
so they sent me a finely machined wood box, which I still have, with their curly fry vodka and like a Bloody Mary mix. So all these companies are realizing like we can get a lot of promo from just doing like a shitty secondary drop of vodka. So they use like these weird Minnesotan companies that have like potato vodka, and they just like rebrand it. But apparently Old Bay is doing it with a good distillery in Maryland, and it tastes like Old Bay. Like if you drank it alone, it tastes like spicy Old Bay vodka, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
I love Old Bay. It tastes
I know.
So good. I don't know if it have anything to do with vodka.
I don't know.
That seems bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. But at least it's a little bit more character than the Lay's vodka.
I mean, I'm looking at this Arby's curly fry vodka right now.
Well,
this looks like a challenge you'd have to do. There's no way anyone is pouring this for fun.
So bad. It was so bad. So I keep my weed in the box that they sent because it's a great, nice wood mahogany box that says Arby's vodka. But it really was bad.
Arby's
it was
vodka.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says. He's gonna go grab a nice curly fry vodka.
Yep, there you go. That sounds awful. I don't understand.
That's pretty sick.
I guess it's just a gag gift, really.
Yeah, of course it is. It's a little joke.
I don't know why anybody wants to drink when you can smoke anywhere.
I mean, what do you mean?
Weed is better.
They're very
alcohol.
different.
I know they're different, but alcohol sucks.
No, you're wrong.
Alcohol can be a bunch of fun.
Alcohol is my favorite thing to do if I have to answer an email or something, and I want to spend 90 minutes doing it. Right?
Look, I'll give you this.
You get a beer. And you go sit somewhere and you just exist doing whatever you need to do for 90 minutes and then you come back, right?
I disagree. But I'm not saying...
With what? That was my opinion.
Yeah, your opinion is wrong. No. Here's where I think alcohol thrives. When there's a group of people getting together that might not otherwise really mesh easily, right? You're like, all right, here, we're all getting together. These are whatever, your wife's friends.
Yeah, little social lubricant.
A few from
social
book club,
lube,
a few from something else. And then you put them all together. You give them really just one or two drinks. And suddenly people are making new friends. They're laughing. When third friend comes in, they're like, Jennifer, so glad you're here. Like alcohol does that. What we do on the show every once in a blue moon, we have like 9 drinks or whatever, 3 for me, and die. Like that sucks. I don't like that.
That's not fun. I get that every month. They're like, "When's the next drinking episode?" I'm like, "Never." I'm sorry, guys. Like that's we did that twice. That was good.
That last drinking episode was such a goddamn nightmare.
I chipped my tooth.
Yeah,
because I ground my teeth so bad, I got so drunk that I ground my teeth and I chipped my fake tooth. Well, it wasn't a real tooth; it was one of my fake teeth.
Yeah,
that was no fun. I remember like waking up like every drinking episode because
that's like 3 ago.
None of us.
I don't know what the pepperoni.
That was a while ago, but like the way we all have done drinking episodes is like me, Kyle, and Woody. Like in our chat beforehand, it's like we're not going to drink for fun. We're going to drink until we're very uncomfortable, and we're going to be paying the piper for this. And it's just not that fun. Like I totally understand what Tucker is saying with alcohol. Like it's great getting people to get along, having a fun social thing. As far as like an individual thing, like enjoyment goes, I really prefer weed.
What you're saying makes sense because you can't take my vodka waters from me.
Nobody's gonna take them away. We don't want them. That's the point.
You're comparing your experience and more specifically our experience on the show with Kyle's 1,000 milligram brownie edible adventure.
No! I'm talking. Worse than that was the drinking episode we did like a time or 2 back when I drank.
Yeah, they had to edit that PKA. Like that was a bad one.
Did we have to edit it?
I don't know.
We never
No.
edited them.
Maybe-
No.
oh, okay.
It should have been edited.
should have been
but
edited.
But it was
Yeah.
not.
I think the only time we ever bleeped something is like, and he wouldn't care now, but like Hutch had a much younger audience at the time, and he mentioned smoking weed one time.
I
He was like,
really
He's a co-owner of fucking
but like 10 years ago.
Pine Park?
but he's a co-owner of Pine Park now. So that's why it's
awesome.
so
Good for him.
yeah, so it's great I was just talking with him with his podcast and stuff. But yeah, no, I get it. If I had to choose between one and the other though, it would be
You
a
go
tough
booze
choice.
over pot.
I think that I agree with Woody. I am a very social person, but I understand that, like for what it does to me, like I like having 2 drinks when I'm uncomfortable more than I like smoking weed when I'm comfortable. Does that make sense? Like I value the comfort blanket that 2 drinks does before hosting an event. Like not even a secret, like anytime I host something, even if it's at 11 a.m., I'm gonna take 1 drink before there. Like I need
just
something
mellow
to
yourself
yeah,
out a little bit.
like I mean, there's a reason why it's like a performance enhancer for competitive shooters in like the triathlon. Like it just makes everything a little bit like okay, all right, cool. But weed is healthier and infinitely less damaging.
I need to be doing something like, all right, let's say it's a rainy day. I'm gonna go for a long drive. Oh, there's a 12-pack of beer in the car right next to me. I can.
What the fuck?
No problem.
No.
Yeah, of course. What? Like you don't like to drink and drive?
No.
All right, fucking square. I'll tell you right now, it's the most fun you can have on 4 wheels.
On private property in game, you know?
No, you want to hit the highway, all right? Speed.
in game.
In game. Yeah, Need for Speed in game. I have drank and driven
Grand Theft Auto.
in Forza a lot in game. But yeah, no, I think that like just as a social lubricant, if I had to choose between one or the other, I do not smoke weed for the same reason that I drink, and they're very different. I like to smoke weed to like wind down and be amongst a small group of people. I don't want to smoke weed and go to the music festival or the party. Like that's not where I want to go do that.
Like when I go like do a thing, I went to the aquarium. I've been a couple times this year.
Oh, and the aquarium smoking weed sounds great, right? That's like you and 5
really
people and you go look at fish. I'm saying like I don't want to go to the
They got
nightclub.
penguins in there.
Yeah.
They
Why
hop
not
up and
the
down.
nightclub? Why is the nightclub ban on weed? It sounds like it would be good. I don't get it.
I mean, it's not. There's not. Let me clarify. There's not like a bad on weed thing, right? Like I'm comfortable in all situations. It's just if I had a preferred area, I would rather be in a group of 5 people smoking at home, doing or watching something as a collective than being in the nightclub. It's not that I'm gonna hate it being high in the nightclub. It's just like I'd rather be drinking in the nightclub than just smoking.
That's how I feel all the time.
Yeah.
I would much rather be with 5 people in an environment where I can hear their voices. That's where I belong.
So you're more of a 5 person than a 1 person.
No, 1's good. Well,
So you can handle
2.
more than.
I want to cap it at 5-ish,
You
and I
can
want the
take at
environment.
least 3.
What?
You can take at least 3.
Huh? I could.
Yeah, there's 3 else. Yeah, no, I get it. I don't think that. Yeah, no, you're not. I think that.
Okay.
I agree with the social lubricant thing to some extent. Yeah. I think I have bad experiences because I've always, or not always, but in the past I have had moderation difficulties. Just really going head first, and it's like, man, we really skipped that part right in the beginning. When you're like 2 drinks in, and things are just lovely.
The whole
you're
good
chasing
part of it.
That's the part you're chasing all night afterwards, trying to get back to there. And I would just blow right through that, go like 6 shots in immediately. Cause people would like buy me free fucking drinks, and I'd drink them because I felt rude. Like, what am I? It seems so
Never
awful
take a drink.
Like to pour alcohol out just seemed like sacrilege. You just bought me this $13 like 2-ounce thing of like clear liquid.
I remember in Chicago during that time at that Tilted Kilt or whatever we were at, where that went down. Like this was like 2010 or whatever it was. And so like I knew Kyle in a friendly way, but like we weren't friends yet. And I remember like watching him do that and thinking in my head, like, damn, he must be able to handle his shit. Because the amount you were drinking, and then like later in the night, like you came out looking ghost-eyed, and I was like, oh, he's actually had a horrible evening. Like,
I've told that story so many times, but it was like they were playing they were having like FPS Russia night at the fucking bar, and like I managed to drink myself unconscious.
Well, because people were buying you shit the whole time.
Yeah,
like they'd come over to our table and be like, shots for everyone, and I was like, damn, I'm a nobody, this is sick. And you're like, I don't want anything, please.
No, it was always like that.
Because you spoke in a Russian accent, you'd want vodka.
So many people wanted to buy me vodka. I got to the point where I liked vodka because I was just drinking so much of it. But then
good.
If I could intercept them, if they were like, let me buy you a drink, that's perfect, because now I can get my like top shelf tequila chilled with some lime. But if they're just showing up with whatever like fake Russian vodka the place has, it's just going to be a bad fucking night. But that night in particular, it was like, I remember there was a Jaeger bomb and like a big ass dark beer, and then like at least 3 shots of vodka. Like right off the kick.
It was White Boy pushing you to finish that with him.
Well,
what is he up to?
White Boy is another one who
I haven't even thought about that. What is that man up to?
Can White Boy not handle his liquor?
The last time I drank with White Boy was that infamous night when we did the epic mealtime thing at my house, and me and Harley are inside filming, and like, you know, he's got his whole crew and everything, and we had finally gotten like the girls to like go on the back porch to where White Boy was, and there's bottles of Jack Daniels as props everywhere, and one of these dumb bitches is over there like bottle feeding him Jack Daniels. Like, he's drank so much, and he's a little guy, like he has had so much, and he's chasing the Jack Daniels with Reese's Pieces. And so the next thing I know,
sounds kind of fun.
He's like a family-sized bag of Reese's Pieces. He's had like half of it. So the next thing I know, I look, and I've got like a couch on my back porch. It's all screened in and everything. And it's like a normal couch. He's on that thing, like sort of like head on his own shoulder like this, and he's vomiting. And he's just like this though. He's going,
it's just chocolate vomit.
And this chunky peanut butter goo is like rolling out of him in a very uncomfortable way down his shoulder and onto my couch. And Kitty is like so allergic to peanuts that like peanut dust makes her like burn like acid. It's like literally acid. And so now White Boy has become this acid vomiting drunk who you can't tell what to do.
He's a chemical warfare.
Jesus Christ, he's radioactive.
So nobody can clean him up but me. So I'm over there. I'm cleaning him up. I'm getting him good to go. I'm cleaning the couch up as best I can between fucking filming and I'm doing my job, and I'm getting the shit off of him. And I'm like, all right, God damn it, do not get him fucked up. What are you thinking? He's little. He's smaller than you. I'm this dumb bitch. And I go back to like working with Harley, and we're doing our thing again. And I look, and I can see out the doors there were double doors, and they had glass in the center of them. And I could see she was feeding him Jack Daniels again. And I was,
that bitch.
She was the worst.
Just feeding him destructive liquor as he's so trying to get with it. I remember being in the main room near the concierge of that Marriott when we all went to Joliet.
Yeah.
And Kitty was the arbiter of gross videos.
Yeah.
And we all did that. And if you cringed or had any sort of reaction to it, she would call you out and you'd have to drink. I remember White Boy and Kelly being very bad at that game and having to drink a lot. And I also remember thinking like, damn, this Kyle guy is just can keep drinking until you couldn't. And then I was like, and then you were just like, I'm going to bed. And I was like what? Like, just out of nowhere, I'm going.
Yeah, like what you got to keep in mind, like that part of my life, like we were constantly traveling, and so, and I had the first leg on this trip that lasted for like 8 months or something like that, bouncing around cities, was Chicago. The first time I went to Joliet and I hung out with Paul. Paul's a functional alcoholic. And so like I'm hanging out with Paul all week, me and him. There's no like other YouTubers. It's just so like, because there isn't a whole gang of us, he's more comfortable, I guess, like giving me a more like personalized. It's easier for him to take one person somewhere. So he's taken to me to all of his favorite bars in Chicago, and we're getting shit housed all night long for a week solid. Those Manhattan, Maker's Mark Manhattans, like the manliest drink I could imagine at the time. I'm fucking drinking those bitches down, and the next trip was like LA or something, and it was tequila the whole time. I had a pretty serious tolerance. I could get 10 shots in and still be okay, but like 12 was like, all right, now we're done. Like there was just this fine line between, all right, I'm drunk but I'm not sick, to like
12 is a lot of
night
shots.
Ruined.
Yeah.
I was drinking a dozen shots almost every single night, like at least.
How long do you think that lasted? Where you were drinking?
Couple years.
A couple years where you had a dozen shots a night?
Not every night, but like 3-4 nights a week. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
Like a lot of drinking. A lot.
How much is it? How many shots are in a bottle of
I have no idea.
Vodka, like liquor.
I was never like pouring drinks and drinking. I was just buying them. I was at a bar or a restaurant drinking.
I feel like Tucker knows. Like how
I don't know. Because
you like vodka waters.
I do. 750 milliliters is a fifth, right? And 1.5 ounces. I don't know how many milliliters. You know what? Hey, there's somebody here with a calculator.
Isn't it 90? I think it's 90.
No. 1.5 ounces is a shot, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's 90.
I don't know how many milliliters that is.
I think it's 90 or 100.
90 or 100 milliliters?
It's like 100 calories worth of vodka, right? Per shot?
What kind of dumb math? I'm just going to Google it.
I only look at calories.
Yeah, 16 shots. 100? Yeah, a fifth has 16. So that means a handle has 32.
Okay, so
I've drank a fifth on the show before.
Wait, a fifth is 1/2 of a handle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
750 versus 1.
Not if a. No, wait. Yeah, it is. Okay.
I can grab a fifth of vodka. It is but
how many milliliters is a handle? I thought a handle was 1,500.
No, you're right.
It's 1,500. 100% it is. It's 1.5 liters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.75. Oh, you're right.
Oh.
All right.
Wait, it's 1.7. Okay, so
you get a little bonus of 10 shots.
It's like 2/5 plus
and
a third of a fifth. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Point is, it's a lot of alcohol.
What an annoying way to measure this.
A third of a fifth. Yeah. No. So Kyle was drinking, per his claimant. He said 12 shots a night.
12 shots. So that's
a fifth. That's a fifth every. That's a fifth every day.
Day and a third.
That's a lot.
Quarter. Yeah.
That's a lot of.
That does seem like a huge amount.
I think he had a relatively new car.
I remember the one time
that
I had dinner with Joe. All of you guys were there, other than Tucker, but like Joe was there, and the way he ordered was so funny to me because he was like, "I'll have the chicken breast blackened, and I will also have the full rack of ribs." And it was like you just, and he was, and like I remember him behaving in a way that was like, "No, this is just the way I order. Like you get 2 entrees because I need energy." And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he needs energy. I mean, like the other ways we ordered was like me and Kyle walking into that place high out of our mind. I remember walking into that Applebees and thinking I'm so high I can barely function, and then walking next to my buddy Kyle and him being even higher than me and being like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. Then we got in there and Kitty, like I've said this before about her. Kitty is a god.
Kitty is a guardian.
Kitty is a guardian. That's a great way to put it. She got in there and she immediately went, we will have 2 of every appetizer. Perfect. That's what everyone needed. There was no way one order of skins was going to get around that table. We needed 2 orders of skins for everyone to get one, and it was tremendous. That was the night that we were sitting down, and me and T-Mart were sitting next to each other. We were very, very young at the time. I was 19, he was 18 or whatever it was, and we were like, "Hey, let's give each other our phones, and we'll tweet from each other's phone." And like I was baked out of my mind. I thought it was like really funny. And so I just tweeted from his account. I was like, I'm high out of my mind at the Logan Steakhouse, wherever the fuck we were, Applebees. I'm high out of my mind at Applebees. And I tweeted that. And
on T. Martin's Twitter.
And like on T. Martin's Twitter. And he had my Twitter, which was like way more accustomed to nonsense. And he said something like super friendly, like, "We're here having fun with friends, LOL." and then, like, we handed it back to each other.
Like, family, friends, and God forever.
Family, friends, and God forever. And then, like, we handed it back to each other.
T-Mart's mom follows him on.
Yeah.
T-Mart's mom followed. I remember that. I remember handing it back to him and him
right there. So that's happening at their end of the table. All right. On my end of the table, this is dawning on us a little. News travels very slowly across the stone table. Me, Kelly, and White Boy are down here in our little group, and we look up, and I think Alex, White Boy, is the one who was like, "Is T. Martin crying?" And I went, "Shit, man, what the fuck happened down there? T. Martin's fucking crying, dog." I was like, Kelly, look. T. Martin's crying. I was like, maybe there's a joke. No, those are real tears. He's crying, huh? But and then like I'm like, hey, why's T. Martin crying? I don't know who was next to me. I wish I could remember because they were both to my left. But like word got down to us that Taylor had gotten a hold of T. Martin's Twitter.
He said it would be a funny idea, and I went funny with it, and then he didn't go funny with it, and then I handed him his phone back, and he saw what I tweeted from his account, and he was like, "Oh my god, my mom follows this."
Dude, he was like
chill out, man. And like I saw my account.
He was like 15 or something.
No, he was 17. All right, because we're the same age, but it doesn't matter. He was like the most business centric of all of us. So he was like, I'm never gonna be able to lease a home. like you would just ruin his like homeland ownership vibe. Yeah, it was so good.
That was funny as fuck.
I'd like to get him back on the show.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to.
I think he would.
Yeah. But
I don't know. It can't hurt to ask, you know?
T-Mart, shout out to T-Mart. I'm sorry about doing that with your phone. I thought it would be funny at the time.
Should have gave me your phone.
And in retrospect, it was funny both at the time and now.
I bet right now.
I'm not sorry.
So I'm not sorry too much.
And like I'm gonna go ahead and say, like not to throw anybody under the bus or anything, because like it's just people react the way they react, and like Taylor fucked up in that moment. It was like super shitty what Taylor did.
I thought it was funny and like a silly little thing.
But it's funny that it all played out that way.
I was if I were to tweet this from my account, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me. Like I thought I was being silly.
What was great is Woody let Taylor know that it was a real shitty thing that he had done.
Woody did. He did let me know, and I remember being like, I just thought I was memeing, man. Like, I thought I was being a silly jokester. That's kind of my MO.
A real rapscallion,
Taylor,
you know?
A real no good Nick.
Somehow Taylor ended up down there with Woody and Kitty. Not that they're not fun, but they're not stoned. and so like
I was probably more judgmental at the time than I am today.
Fuck it. No, we were.
It doesn't matter.
Look, guys, everybody's at water under the bridge. You know, we're all doing great.
I don't give a shit what anybody
you guys got podcasts. T. Martin's got lawsuits. We're all here.
Wait, he does?
No, I was making a CS:GO Lotto joke.
Yeah.
Battle those.
I don't know. I don't think what I did was nearly as bad as baiting minors into beginning.
Now he's definitely not coming
back now.
Dude, I bet he would come on and talk about it. I know he would come on and talk after the show.
You want to bet?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm right.
I don't know how. I don't know how well how he would fall on this one. You know,
T. Martin and I are friends. We don't talk all the time or anything, but I still consider him my friend.
Yeah, we're still buds. You can't friendship bait him into the podcast.
Let me finish my thought here. So after the podcast, he texted me and he was like, "Hey man, that was fun. I enjoyed this or that." And I think he wished that I brought up the CS:GO stuff. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I was thinking of it too. I wasn't sure how it would go. This is how I would have done it." And he's like, "That would be perfect." So that's why I come from it from this
so you just pander to him.
Not exactly.
No, the opposite of that. No,
I would too. I like
T. Martin's my friend. I would support him. But
I'm in his camp. I'm stoking the flames.
I lost $8,000 gambling on those CS:GO skins. I'll have you know, and I haven't gotten over it yet.
Never taken a dime from gamblers.
Hell no.
No, I don't give a shit either way. I hope he made a lot of money, and I hope he did. Who knows?
I hope that dog is still healthy.
He's gonna need it. He's gonna need that dog for the next one.
From what I can tell,
wait, does he have another one brewing?
From what I know from his social media, when I look at it, is T-Mart was very intelligent and skipped the phase where streamers moved to California and then realized it's way too expensive. And he went straight to Florida.
He didn't skip it. What do you mean? He lived with me for 9 months, and then he was like, "I'm driving back to Illinois. I fucking hate it here." Yeah, he lived. He moved to the Gamer Shore. Yeah, me, Goldie, lived with us, and then he was like,
I want to hear about that. So
you guys moved there, fuck is that?
And I thought there was going to be like a lot of collaboration
as a kid
and stuff happening.
Yeah, we all had very different schedules. T. Martin would wake up at 7 a.m. and record 9 different intros for his Call of Duty video. I'd wake up at like 11 and record like a video. Brennan would live stream. Goldie would live stream for 12 hours a day. And that was kind of like how it worked. Like we all did content creation, but differently. And then Muzza Fuzza moved in and didn't do anything. And then Syndicate moved in and did his, so like, yeah, great idea and concept. Sorry, but like we didn't execute it well at all.
It didn't turn out to be as collaborative as I thought it would.
Nah, we were the first gamer house though. So
didn't Muzza Fuzza he didn't stick with you guys? I didn't even know he was.
No, he stopped making
it like 10 years ago.
He did. This was we're talking about 2012.
I didn't.
We're talking about literally a decade ago.
This isn't that long after the Twitter incident.
Yeah. I don't know what the Twitter incident
what broke him.
He's talking about the restaurant story where they traded.
I don't know what the fuck happened to Muzza.
No, Muzza Fuzza stopped doing stuff and then went back to live in Montana. And the only way that I knew he was alive was his ex, who used to live with us, hit me up like 5 years later, 5 years ago, and was like, "Hey, he still thinks about you guys." And I'm like, I don't know how to respond to this.
It's like, I don't know. We're still making dumbass content.
I'm like, I still make YouTube videos. Yeah, but like people move on. But regardless, that was
Brandon as a kid. Is he still with the mom?
Yeah. Well, that's a weird way to phrase.
I didn't want to say, are they married? That's kind of judgy. They could have a great.
They're not married yet. They're not married. Yeah. He has a bastard child living in sin.
You beat me to it. I swear to God, I was going right there.
I let him know.
A religious household. I know about living in sin.
Myself as well. I make sure he knows that he's
never go to heaven.
Oh, I know.
You can't wash that stain off, Muzza.
No,
wait, no, it's Goldie, not Muzza.
Oh,
Goldie has the kid.
Sorry, Muzza.
Then they're both going to hell.
Sorry, Muzza.
Yeah, you know what? Add them all in.
I bet Muzza's.
That guy's going to hell for sure.
Not
the only thing I remember, like I never watched Gold Glove's content. He's like my age.
Neither do I.
A little younger, but like I remember him losing his channel. And then everyone in like 2000.
That's how he got his shit. Yes.
He got because everyone at the time was like,
he deleted it
everybody
himself.
Throw your support behind.
He deleted it himself. No, I don't think he did. No. But like this was the first communal upload.
So much.
Everybody uploaded this fucker's. Yeah, this fucker's communal montage. And it was like, hey, please help my friend who had 30,000 subs regain his channel. He had like 70K by the end of it.
Dude, I mentioned him in my bullshit channel where I was like, "Hey, help out."
He was late on rent,
I remember having like 40,000 subs at the time and seeing his channel go from 0 to like 80 or whatever, and being like, "This is some fucking bullshit, man!" Like, I should delete my channel. Although I don't have a deep bench like he does. Like, who do I have that really likes me? Well, I've got Woody. He likes me. I've got Kyle. He likes me. Wings. He hates me. Who else do I have? Hutch. He doesn't know who I am. Who else?
Yeah, it was a tough one.
No, I remember that very well. It's a long time ago.
It's a fun time to remember though, because
the best of times, the worst of times.
The best of times, the worst of times.
That Chicago trip was a really fun fucking trip though. I had a great time on that trip. That weed, like the whole thing, like were you in the
white
van?
Rhino we got?
The white Rhino. Yeah. Do you remember? Were you in the van with me and White Boy?
Yes, I was, and I was pissed that you guys were taking so long to roll the blunts and pass them forward.
We were doing the best we could. We were moving. He was doing it on fucking Modern Warfare 2 or some shit. When we pulled into that house, like that residence, did you know what was happening in that moment?
Yeah, I knew that we were lost and then we had to turn around.
I've told it before, but like I literally came out of a stupor of marijuana smoke and I looked up and this van that I'm in is pulling into a fucking residence at like night and there's no lights on. And I'm thinking, in that moment, my thought was, I have been kidnapped. They are taking me to this house. I have been kidnapped and I'm getting like scared and like ready to like fight. and I don't remember who explained it to me, but they were like, no, Kyle, no. We made a wrong turn going to Applebees. We're just turning around. See, we're leaving. And I'm like, good. Let's get out of here. Yeah. You don't want that happen. Yeah. You don't get taken.
That's a good one. I like it.
That's by the way, that's Jeremy on the right, and that's Aiden on the left. Aiden was our that guy
right?
Attorney/model/race car driver, right? When
you got enough money,
when you got enough money, I guess you do whatever you want. No, that's a good one. That's fucking Jeremy. Knocked the shit out of me with that baton.
Dude, funny. Jeremy's got some girthy forearms.
Yeah, right?
He
carried dead chickens in 5-gallon buckets, right? That's how he built those muscles.
He's one of those guys that's got girthier forearms than biceps. Look at that guy.
Yeah, he's a strong fella.
Yeah.
Strong fella, and look at you there, ready for rape.
Ready? I took it.
Supple.
They put the chicken on me.
Absolutely tantalizing.
We filmed a waterboarding scene, and then like after they saw it, they were like, "We can't upload this." And I'm like, "So I got waterboarded for nothing?" Yeah.
Hey, you're a method actor. We love that.
That was awful.
I suppose so.
Yeah, I don't know how you fake getting waterboarded. They just did it.
You can't. Didn't Hannity fake that?
Hannity said he was going to do it and never did because he's a bitch.
Oh, he didn't even fake it. He
was one of those people. He was, on Fox News. They were like, waterboard. First of all, waterboarding is torture, and those people needed to be tortured so we could get their fucking secrets. We needed to know what they knew. That Khalid Sheikh Mohammed guy, they waterboarded him like 183 times over the course of 6 months.
Oh yeah, dude.
He talked. So I'm all for that. They needed a bath anyway, by the looks of them. So
fair enough. Totally agree.
Can't argue, really. Everyone needs to take baths.
You co-signing too, Jericho?
I think it's a great question. A lot of people ask me that question.
Yeah. What do you usually say?
It's a great question.
That's a very Jordan Peterson answer. A lot of people are asking this question, and people, they know about it, and they want to. My advice is to, get addicted to benzodiazepines.
Oh.
Have you watched his content lately? It's pretty conspiratorial.
Yeah. That was good.
I saw him hating on fatties.
Yeah,
I'm back on the train.
None of us like fat people, if you listen to his voice, he sounds a little like Kermit, and so that's the easiest way to make fun of him.
As soon as Skrillex went with Jordan Peterson on his podcast, I knew EDM was doomed. Okay,
Skrillex went on his podcast.
Yeah. He literally broke like a 4-month. I was like, what the.
I remember going to a Skrillex show when I was a junior at Mizzou, and back in the day, all we did was do like 3 or 4 tenths of Molly.
Oh,
I was about to ask
3 or 4 tenths.
Yeah, get absolutely blasted.
Literally jaw moving a mile a minute.
Dude, I remember my sophomore year of college, Skrillex came, and I took like 3 tenths of Molly or something, and I was that guy. near the front of the stage who was to the side dancing like it didn't matter. I was having so much fun. I remember finishing that concert and being like,
can't even chew your food in the next morning.
You could, if someone were to give me a sandwich, I'd be like, I need a glass of water to replenish my moisture so I can actually chew this.
Is ecstasy legal anywhere?
No, but it's fun. I remember getting blasted on ecstasy and having so much fun. Like, just it was great. Like you're just smiling the whole time.
I know it's different. It seems like it's more euphoric and more intense feelings of like togetherness and like maybe even being a little bit too huggy. But like acid is the only thing that I've taken that's like even in that realm. And
I've never done that.
Oh, you gotta do acid.
I would love to try acid. And you know what? If I'm gonna do acid, I want to do it with my friend Kyle. I want to do it with you if I'm gonna do it because I need someone.
I wouldn't do such a thing.
Done it before.
I wouldn't want to take any illegal drugs, but hypothetically in Minecraft, you take like 4 or 5 hits of acid, you see shit, my friend. Stuff moves, okay?
In-game acid's incredible, you know.
In-game acid.
When you're in VR on 4 hits of acid, the moon pulsates like it's breathing up there. And
you ever stare at the cracks in your floor tile on acid in-game? Let me tell you.
And you're just you feel giddy, but not overly so, in complete control of your wits.
Is that how you felt? You felt 100% completely in control? Because that is a thing that like kind of turns me off to the hallucinogen thing. Is I'm afraid of losing my wits.
No,
and
not at all.
Knowing what's happening.
That's not it at all. I was afraid of that too. I was afraid of being like I don't know, going on some rant and like embarrassing myself by getting all emotional or something like that. Those were my fears. Sure. I didn't want to be like a party pooper. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do what Dirty did and like lay on the floor and like swim in place and act like a big baby. Like after 2 hits, you little bitch. I know you're 90 fucking pounds, but man up. No, I had a good time. I sat there in my chair and like there was one moment where I had like this sort of like, I don't know, like inner thought moment that was a little panicky, but I was like, get that shit out of here. We're having fun. Let's watch YouTube videos some more. Mm-hmm. And I was completely able to do that. It wasn't that thing where I like fell down this hole of like depressive thoughts or like, what are we even doing here? Like moments. It was like, what can I look at that looks cool? And I was on YouTube, like searching like psychedelic music videos. And so they have stuff on YouTube that's seemingly made for a room full of jackasses.
Watch like a fish hunting like a school of other fish.
There's
like
an Adult Swim. Adult Swim literally has this thing called something water or after. It's like a programming that they made specifically for. It's like, all right, man, you know, it's 2:30 in the morning and you're riding your high out, but it's like bit crushed, like interesting artistic stuff. Also, Samsara, if you've never watched it before, incredible shot, silent documentary. No
Samsara,
talking.
Never heard of it. I'll have to check it out.
Hey, it is a cinematic. There's one called Baraka that was shot in 1998, and Samsara came in 2012. It's 10 years of no dialogue, the most beautiful cinematography you're ever going to see about planet Earth, cultures, everything. I've totally talked about it.
That's cool.
We could probably do like next year sometime, or we could probably do a PKA on acid. We could probably make that happen. We could probably make that happen.
I don't know if I'm going to have good bits on acid.
That's a good point. Never mind. Scratch that.
I don't know if anybody wants to watch people on acid.
We might be able to
being on acid seems like
maybe we'll hang out sometime. Just do some acid.
30 minutes.
You know what? What I'd actually like to do, Kyle, is just hang out with my friend and do a bunch of acid.
It's the best.
And not be
do acid for other people's do acid for your own enjoyment.
Let's do a PKA trip, but we don't film anything. We just do a bunch of acid together.
I like
they will hate us so much.
They'll be like, we realized while we were doing it that we just kind of want to do a bunch of acid.
Wait, what do you mean we paid for them to go get high in the woods? It's like you did do that.
There's literally no. So I experienced like 0 downsides and every upside imaginable, right? Because it's, first of all, it's cheap as fuck. Mm-hmm. I want to say, God, it's like $2 or $3 a hit. Like it's so cheap. I think it's $2 or $3 a hit. So like,
really,
I took a ton, and that was like $10 worth. Like everybody was like, "You took 5?" I was like, "Yeah." Oh my, you blew $10. Whereas like any other drug, like if you really went to town, like you just blew hundreds or maybe $1,000.
I mean, even fucking weed.
I'm sure for impact on like how fucked up you're gonna get, yeah, I'm sure acid is the most bang for your buck, because like a Gatorade bottle of acid could get the world high 5 times over, right? So like
that's the other thing. Like taking it, like a lot of people don't like smoking weed. I know Woody doesn't like the process of like getting weed into him. It's not fun. He doesn't like smoking. Yeah, which with acid, you could use a dropper. I know I've heard of people doing that. And just put a droplet in your mouth or even in your eye. But like, we had the little tabs, right? So it's just this little square of paper that's so fucking small. It's smaller than what you're imagining. And you just throw those things on your tongue. They don't taste like anything. And
how many did you have to take before you were like, all right, I'm feeling fucky? Like 2?
We all took 1, and then we waited an hour. And about an hour in, it was like, oh, okay. And I think I asked someone, I was like, is it a high that you ride up, or is it a high that's like, oh, we're here and we're on a plateau? Because like with marijuana edibles, it can often be this plateau where it's like, okay, we just noticed that we're getting high and there's more to come. And they were like, no, you're pretty much there. It's been an hour. This is 1 tab. And I was like, then I definitely want a second tab right now before this can diminish anymore.
What did the 1 tab get you to? Like where you weren't seeing anything? You weren't seeing anything
giggly, and my eyes felt a little funny. Like I don't know if I don't know. They felt a little bigger than they are. I don't know, like a little feeling like that. Like maybe like not as coordinated as normal. Like one drink tipsy. Like kind of like brushing against a wall, maybe a little bit. But like 2 tabs in, it was like, okay, we're seeing some like little wiggles and stuff on the perimeters of like where colors contrast, like your St. Louis shit there, like the blue and the red would be pulsating where they conjoin and breathing and shit. And I was like, all right, let's count and see how much we have. Cause I want a lot now that I've been to 2 and like nothing bad is happening. So I immediately took like as much as there was left, I think. And then like an hour into that, when I was like 4 or 5 tabs deep, whatever it was, everything was wonderful. Now
5 tabs deep.
I was
I would not. This is the same guy that ate 1,000 milligrams of weed. So just like take everything with a grain of salt. Well,
I am proud of Kyle for eating.
I am proud that you are alive for both of these.
I'm proud of him. That's my friend Kyle. Don't you talk shit on my friend Kyle.
I'm not talking. I'm just trying to ration. There's some kid who's like, well, I'm gonna have 5 tabs in my first experience, and then he's gonna be like,
said, though, right? Like that. Like what I said was like, I took 1, waited an hour, took 2, waited another hour. Then I was like, okay, this is a drug that I like and that I can control. I want a bunch. How much do we have left? And I fucking took it all because I didn't want to share anymore. I wanted all the fucking tabs.
Of course not.
I think some other people took 3 or 4, and I took 1 more than anybody else did. And I saw cool shit all night long. I saw cool shit, and the TV looked amazing. And the only downside was I was uncoordinated, especially walking downstairs. My knees like trembled with every step. Like when you're walking downstairs, it's a very particular way of like putting your like weight and that tension on your body. Like whatever it was about that, every step my knees were trembling, so I had to use the railing to like get down. Other than that, I was fine. I wouldn't want to go for a drive. Obviously, I'm fucking hallucinating and uncoordinated. But if you're chilling all night, no stressors, it's wonderful. So fun.
So, PKA, episode 599.